Hi, I'm Chris West. I haven't done one of these videos for quite a while, so I'd like to say a big thank you to everybody who has bought my thumb position book or my Botticini biography, and I'd like to welcome everybody who has subscribed to my channel in the last few months. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the bow hold. How to hold a double bass bow, why we hold it like that, and what your fingers are doing when you're playing. I'm going to be talking about the overhand grip, which is the one that all the other string players use. It's generally known as the French bow hold, even though it was first made popular worldwide by the great Italian player Giovanni Botticini. When we're playing the bass, we're holding the right arm out at an angle. But I'm going to split that into two different components, the horizontal and the vertical, so that you can understand what it is that your fingers need to do. If I hold my arm out in front of me, like a violinist does, I put my thumb at the point where the frog meets the stick, and then I can balance the bow just by touching the top of the stick with the other fingers. The thumb becomes like the pivot in a seesaw. And this seesaw exercise is really good. Try and do this exercise keeping your wrist still and just doing it with your fingers, because the wrist is going to have other jobs to do. You might weight into the string by pressing with the index finger and take weight out by pressing with the little finger. And if these two fingers are equidistant from the thumb, then it's easier to control the balance of the weights. And notice that if you press both these fingers at the same time, then usually that's just a waste of energy. They cancel each other out, and all you're doing is gripping the bow tighter and creating unnecessary tension. Now, which part of your little finger should be touching the bow? Well, that depends partly on the length of your finger and the angle of your arm, but for me, it's somewhere near the top joint. I think that gives you greater control than if you try to use the tip, or if you have it touching somewhere near the base of your finger. I think that using the little finger as a lever like this gives you the best control of the stick. So the most important fingers are these two. I don't actually need these two, but they do help to stop the bow from tipping over. And also, when I'm swapping weight between my index finger and my little finger, it can feel smoother if I think of the weight transferring through the four fingers rather than moving directly between the two outside fingers. The vertical component is much less complicated. If I hold my arm down vertically, I can now support the bow with just my thumb and my index finger, with the index finger supporting the back of the bow. The other three fingers don't do anything. So now let's combine the two components together. The first finger has to wrap around the stick so it can add weight at the back of the stick or on top of the stick as you need it. The little finger sits on top of the stick because that's where that one's needed. And the two middle fingers can just sit comfortably in between, applying a very light pressure to stop the frog from spinning round. And you can try out your bow hold by placing the middle of the bow on the string and practicing adding weight and removing it. If you find that the tip of the bow suddenly falls to the floor as you lift the bow, that means you're not supporting it at the back with the index finger. And in fact, you've been using friction to keep the bow up. That's not good for your sound. And if you find that the tip of the bow droops and stays on the string as you lift your arm, that means you aren't supporting it properly with your little finger. If you do that, it will make it very difficult for you to end notes exactly where you mean to. But if it's all working correctly, then as you take the weight out and remove the bow from the string, it will stay beautifully horizontal just above the string. I hope that I've been describing a bow hold that's very close to what you were already using. But maybe now you might have a clearer idea of why you were taught to do it that way. And if you do get problems creeping in, understanding what's supposed to be happening might help you to find the right solution. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already done so, and keep enjoying your bass playing. Bye for now.